Dude, we gotta start with our Orlando Magic and those beautiful throwback uniforms that they just debuted.
When you texted me, fuck Mike. At first I thought it was an accidental text sent to me, and you were talking shit about me. I was waiting to see what you were gonna say, and then you said the uniform, and I was like, oh, okay, he's not mad at me. So I was like, I remember I saw the Bleacher Report notification come through. I didn't see the whole thing, but man, those jerseys are so beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. The release with the throwback guys. So you've got Jalen Suggs representing the current team, but you have Rashard Lewis, Bo Outlaw, Daryl Armstrong, Hidu Turgulu, and my boy Ryan Anderson. I tell you, Mike, I almost started crying when I saw him in that picture because I haven't heard anything about the dude since he just disappeared from the NBA. I mean, do you even remember what team he played for last?
I want to say the Rockets?
The Heat. He got traded to the Heat and got cut.
I did not know he was on the Heat.
Because he couldn't. He lost his shot essentially.
But yeah, those jerseys, the literally every jersey the Magic have worn, except obviously the jacket that Rhino's wearing. But like those, I love the uniforms. I love it. It's a throwback to the old school, like you said, Bo Outlaw days.
Oh yeah. Well, I like the jacket that Rhino is wearing. That is a $500 jacket that only I think 100 were made. It is beautiful. This picture will be in our preview. So if you go on the app formerly known as Twitter and look at it, you'll see this picture of all of the former Magic legends here. And yeah, they are legends.
And then they have it's the 35th anniversary, and they have the old school logo as the center court. Looks like for the whole year. I don't know.
No, the problem is this is the only gripe I have. They're only using this in like 11 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games, excuse me. They should be wearing these almost every night. They're that chef's kiss beautiful. But we get to go to one of those. We get to go see the Milwaukee Bucks on November 11th, and they'll be wearing these beautiful uniforms.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they look in person, and also maybe we'll cop a jersey.
I will. There's no maybe. I will be.
I'm iffy. We'll see. I got bigger things to worry about in the future coming up. So
I do too, but I don't. I'm a degenerate in that sense. But
I'm a degenerate the other way, so I'll probably be betting on that game.
There you go.
And hopefully betting will be actually legal in Florida because there's been appeals made left and right. Hard Rock Sportsbook could be coming back to Florida, and hopefully sooner rather than later, DraftKings, FanDuel, Barstool, WinBet, everything will be coming now, hopefully to Florida. But first up, Hard Rock Sportsbook. But back to the main topic at hand.
No, you're good. That's our intro. Welcome to episode 94 of Dimes on Duval. Once again, it is Mike and I in studio.
It's the birth year, 94.
Yeah, 94. It's a good year. It's a good year. Two legends were born, Mike and Keith.
Yep.
I think Skyler was born in 93.
No, I think
he was born. No, he's born later in 94. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I got that backwards. I'm thinking of the boys. Yeah, it's a good year. It's going to be an episode of reflection. The title of this episode is Missed Opportunities, and that was the name of the game this weekend.
You could honestly name it Reflection, too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Of course, we'll talk Jags. We have Skyler called in. He answered a few questions. He talked about the Gators. Mike and I will touch on FSU and their struggle against Boston College, and then wrap things up with just one quick note. So let's get right into it. First things first, Skyler was at the game, so I'd like to get some feedback from him about his experience and some more talk about the struggles with the heat that were occurring on Sunday. Okay, so Skyler, you were at the game. I saw a lot of tweets, a lot of negative things about the experience at the stadium, talking about how hot it was and over 100 people had to be treated at the hospital because of heat stroke or whatever it might have been. How was it in your opinion?
I mean, it was definitely hot. I was somewhat prepared for it, I guess. I didn't have any issues, but I can understand people having issues, and especially if you're one to try to drink and enjoy the day. It's I don't blame them for wanting to do that, but that definitely takes some goes into it for a little bit too, for sure. I didn't get to do much of that. I think that's what was interesting about the 1:00 start. I mean, every time September games happen, they're always going to be hot. But back in 2018, when we had the Patriots, that was a 4:00 game, so it was a little bit bearable. The sun was, set, so doesn't necessarily set, but gets behind the bleachers around like 6 o'clock during those 4:00 games. So they set it up for a different game time. That's really the only thing they can do right now, unless if they throw a roof on it. But obviously, the city's in talk about the stadium, so there's action being made towards it, I suppose. But yeah, it should have been done kind of a while ago too. It's not like the first time I've ever experienced this.
No, I think that's the biggest problem. As this isn't the first time fans are going down. I just looked it up because News for Jags posted it. 110 people were treated, most of them for heat-related illnesses. 36 of those were taken to the hospital. I saw a couple fans mentioning, oh, well, why don't you just bring a reusable or bring a small water bottle with you? You can go refill it at the stadium. From what I heard, the lines for the reusable water fountains were ridiculous, and the water in those is like lukewarm at best. So,
yeah. I mean, it doesn't stay cool. It doesn't cool you down. You're not gonna really want to drink it, And then the ice cold water they do have in the stadium, they sell for $6.
Yeah,
which is
insane.
That's the price of a pack of water bottles. So,
yeah, and that's just for Dasani, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Smart Water is probably a couple more bucks, and then you got to get electrolytes, so Powerades are way overpriced too. It's ridiculous what they're doing to us, and the cons and management, everybody, they know better. This needs to change, and I hate it for our fans. That people talk about, oh, well, we're selling so many tickets to Kansas City people. It's because we don't want to go to this game and pass out. And the ones that go, they try their best to be safe, but you never know how hot it's going to be.
And, there's supposed to be rain in the forecast, but it never showed up, and that definitely would have helped. I think because it never came, it just stayed muggier than anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
But, we see it in Atlanta. They have affordable concessions, and so it's not like it's impossible. I know, obviously, I think it was when Green Bay came into town, they had an issue with heat during that game, too, and I believe the stadium ran out of water bottles, so that's when they started the policy to where you could bring a bottle in.
They ran out of ice by halftime, too, from what I hear.
Yeah, so we'll see what kind of changes they make, see what they do.
17-9, your final score against Kansas City. And if you let me riff here for just a second, Mike.
Go right ahead because I'm about to go off in a minute.
Perfect. 17-9. No touchdowns scored in the game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Many, many opportunities to do so. The Jaguars had 271 yards of offense yesterday. That is the fourth worst day production-wise for the Jacksonville offense in the Peterson era. The other games were the Lions, where we put up 266, Tennessee 222, and Eagles 219. And the Eagles one, that was raining, right? That's the one where Trevor had like four picks.
Four or five turnovers, yeah.
So that one I give a little excuse to, but terrible that way. Trevor goes 0 for 7 passing in the red zone. That is the most red zone attempt without a completion since Brett Favre in 2006 against the Lions. He was also 0 for 7. Boy, I'm just like going through here. They failed to score a touchdown for the first time since Week 5 of 2022 and lost for the third time in 11 months to the defending Super Bowl champions. That last game that they mentioned, Week 5, that was the Texans game where we laid an egg. 13-6 was the final score, and the quote at the end of that game from Trevor Lawrence, "At the end of the day, we've got to finish games. It hurts. It's frustrating, but we're going to get better. We can't panic. We're a good football team, and we believe that. We just got to play like it. We didn't play like one today. We played bad. Trevor tweeted this morning that the sun is up on a new day. Time to get back into it. Mike, it is your turn. How are you feeling, man? 1 day removed from the game.
I honestly don't even know what to say. That offensive performance was honestly abysmal. Trevor didn't even... Okay. I don't understand what is our obsession in the red zone with throwing these back corner concepts or back of the end zone concepts where we have to risk getting both feet down. Just do a normal play, find an open receiver in the middle of the field, and go.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, Trevor Lawrence looked rattled for some reason. I don't know why. The Chief, granted, Chris Jones also.
I was going to say, I know why.
Chris Jones abused our offensive line. Absolutely abused us.
Yeah.
So, and it was his first game back, and he was on a snap count, which worries me to no end if we play them again in the playoffs. So, the defense played a really good game. The offense was a complete unmitigated disaster. This falls on Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson, and Press Taylor. And I don't know who gets the most blame. Probably Doug Peterson, because he should have just... If Press Taylor is indeed playing or calling plays, the first 2 games of the year have been very interesting, to put in a best case scenario, best word for it.
Well, you didn't hear Skyler's portion, but he talked about how this offense is going horizontal and not vertical. If you look at the one drive where we marched down and kicked the field goal, we went vertical that very short drive, but we marched right into field goal range, kicked the field goal. That was like the 30-second left drive or whatever. And it looked great. But once we started throwing the ball sideways and doing all kinds of weird, the pitch play where who threw the ball? I don't know if it was ETN or whoever threw the ball. What is this, Blake Bortles? We don't need somebody else throwing the football. We don't need to be throwing out trick plays. And that's where I think that the Jaguars and their staff overthought this game, overcomplicated things, when if we came out and did our bread and butter, I think we would have had a better chance and probably would have won that game.
Man, when you hold Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to 17 points, you should win this game.
Absolutely. Again,
and
I'm
multiple
giving
turnovers
snaps again to the defense.
Multiple turnovers, an interception by Mahomes, a fumble, or 2 fumbles. Like, you got to take advantage of it. Special teams came through with a fumble recovery. Defense and special teams was not a problem for the first time in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The offense played like complete shit. And I don't know what it is, but I really don't have an answer, honestly. And I'm hoping they get things right next week against the Texans, who have been our thorn in our side. Like Keith just mentioned last year, the last game we had no touchdowns was against those Texans.
Yeah.
Like, granted, it's a new quarterback, new regime, new everything, but you never know. And Texans are coming in here without a win. We don't need to give them a win because right now we are still first.
What we did last year.
I'm pretty sure we're still number 1 in the division. So
we are.
That's good. But if we lose this game, we are really endangering ourselves because the Texans will be 1-1 in the division. The Colts would be 1-1 in the division, which I don't know who the Colts play next week, but I don't really care. We'd fall down to probably 4th because the Colts beat the Texans, who then would have beat us. Like I'm just over. It's inconsistent. This team is inconsistent, and until it gets a form of consistency, like they did last year with the 7-game winning streak or 6-game winning streak, like it's gonna be a same Jekyll and Hyde concept with this team.
Yeah, who are they? Who's gonna show up this week? I agree. Indy plays Baltimore and Tennessee plays Cleveland. Just an FYI. It was Christian Kirk also who threw that pass. I just wanted to reiterate that one. That was such a stupid play. Speaking of Kirk, one of our concerns last week that we talked about, or that you and I talked about, was potentially him not getting his targets. Well, he had 14 targets in this game.
Yeah, Kirk had a pretty good game, but
11 for 110. Ingram was 6 for 57 at 8 targets. Ridley 2 for 32 on 8 targets.
Yeah, Ridley,
he was hurt.
He did get hurt, yes, but Ridley should not be getting 2 targets.
Yeah, Zay Jones 0 receptions on 6 targets.
Yeah, he is a goose egg. So I don't know. Maybe
also was hurt too.
Zay
was out the entire first half basically. He went into the medical tent and wasn't out there until the second half. Really,
I didn't notice that, but that's interesting. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but never mind.
Yeah, no. We got banged up in that game. Zay went down.
Can we talk about how
really...
Travis... Speaking of banged up, can we talk about how Travis Kelce's a dick?
Oh, he's such a wiener.
Like
I don't want to say the words I was saying.
There was no absolutely need to punt the ball like that.
Yeah.
And did you see what Rayshawn Jenkins said today?
No, what did he say?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Okay, while you do that, I'm going to talk about how Ian Eagle threw in a Taylor Swift reference when he scored that touchdown. That was funny, but then I immediately got pissed when he punted the ball into the stands. A lot of the defense said he was chirping the entire game, and his little BITCHASS only had, 4 receptions for 26 yards. Yeah, hell of a game there, buddy.
Well, he was on a snap count. But anyway,
hey,
he said,
this
is what Rayshawn Jenkins said. Of course, he's a good player, but he's a little too extra at times. He gets too disrespecting. He feel like he above all people, and we all men out there, let's just play the game. So, he was definitely not happy with Travis Kelce yesterday, but
I don't think a lot of people were. I think he said it perfectly. He thinks very highly of himself. He thinks he's better than other people. And in fact, that one hit where he went up for that ball and he got popped. Ooh, I love that. Ooh, that made me feel good. But
by the way, one thing I want to note about the defense while we're still on the defense here.
Sure.
I truly believe Andre Sisco is going to be an All-Pro. One of these years. If it's not this year, he is the best defensive player we have on this team. Him and Trayvon Walker, who looked damn good yesterday. Trayvon Walker got pressure, just couldn't deliver.
Yeah.
Which I guess is going to be a theme all year.
I'll give him credit. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yes,
that is a tough one.
But Sisco, back to Sisco, he's going to be an All-Pro, man. He's a stud.
Agreed.
He's going to be like our, hopefully, better Troy Polamalu. Like, he's good. He's a hitter, and he seems like a ball hawk, too.
Yeah.
Like, he picked off that throw by Mahomes.
Nice.
Sisco's going to be a very good player. Hopefully he stays healthy for us, and hopefully we don't need to
I wish we
take
had
him out of position.
I wish we had someone that could go back and listen to all the old episodes, because I want to say that when we drafted him, I was very high on him, but then he started playing, or he wasn't playing.
No. He wasn't playing because we had a 12-year-old as head coach.
Yeah.
So, and I'm actually giving him
come
credit.
on. He was probably 11 or 10.
He was more like 4.
Yeah.
You know how like 4-year-olds always want to grab mommy's, you know what? Yeah. So that's what he was doing with 18-year-old co-ed girls. God, I hate that, man.
Well, to add on to what I was saying before about the people getting banged up, Josh Allen had a shoulder sprain.
Yeah, I saw that. He didn't come back in.
That didn't look very good. Zay Jones, his knee is what it was his issue. He got further testing today. He's day by day. Anton Harrison, I think, just got hurt by Chris Jones just being so good. He had a calf injury. He is okay, though. But, yeah. I mean, I was hoping that, not really hoping, but I thought the Heat would really bang up the Chiefs a little bit more. And you could tell they were getting tired, especially their defense. We just didn't capitalize. And, again, missed opportunities was the name of the game today. I hate this. I was so excited. I did pick against us in our graphic, but
honestly, I don't think you would have expected us not to score a touchdown, so it's okay.
Well, none of us did. We all had them in like the 20s.
Honestly, everyone across the country thought it was going to be a shootout. And it
even
was
Ian Eagle did. Yeah.
Far from it.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as Kelce scored, I'm like, I think that might be it. I don't know. But that was, when did Kelce score that touchdown? Second half? Or second quarter, I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was, what pissed me off the most is the red zone, man.
It's unacceptable. Straight up.
So many
I don't care who the defending team is.
The muff punt, which led us to be inside the 15, 20-yard line, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't score a touchdown, really? Like, the Chiefs' defense is not that good. Like,
No.
they're not.
No.
But, I don't know. I'm just over it. On to Houston, and we'll hopefully get after C.J. Stroud this upcoming week, if he plays. If it's not him, it's Davis Mills.
Snaps again for Brandon McManus. It's nice to be able to have a kicker that you just like, oh, that's going to go in, like, every time.
You know, every game on Sunday had a field goal.
Is that rare?
I don't know. I think it is.
Oh.
Because there's sometimes you score touchdowns, no field goals.
It's true.
Like, every game had a field goal. Every Sunday. Every game this past Sunday.
Not every team. Every
team had. I'm sorry. Every team Sunday kicked the field goal.
Okay. I was going to say, like, that
well, I
doesn't
mean,
seem
no.
that rare.
I'm sorry. I should clarify. Every team had a field goal Sunday.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting stat. Anyway.
So I thought that was interesting. I was like, of course, the Jaguars had the most field goals.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
And with McManus hitting that 49-yarder, which was crispy and beautiful, Firehouse 2 for 10 again.
Wait,
So-
Firehouse doing that deal?
Oh, you had to sign up for it, Bubba. You had to sign up for it before the season. But hey, I mean, when you're here, if you ever want to, after that we finish, we can go up there. It's 2 subs for $10.
So is it when he kicks one field goal and makes it?
It's over 40 yards, I think. Over 40-yard field goal.
Oh. Man, remember when it was whenever Scobie kicked the field goal?
Yeah.
It wasn't it free Firehouse? It was
Yeah.
free sub with the purchase of chips and a drink for like $3.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Now it's like $6 for that.
It's ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, the Florida State versus Boston College game was ridiculous.
I hate going up to Boston College. I never liked the team going up there. I'm so ready to get ACC just so we don't have to play Boston College every other year.
I think Scott mentioned we watched it together. I think that
We have
every time we play them up there, it's always the bandana game or something like
It's
that.
very
Or it seems like it always is.
It's been 3 times, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
In the last 6 meetings.
Yeah, and they play with heart.
Florida State has had some weird games up in in Massachusetts. It's weird as hell. It is the craziest thing to me. Don't get it. We own the rival, or if you want to call it rivalry, but like it's not. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, 31-29 is your final score. Boston College chanting to us as we walk off the field, overrated, which
is kind
funny.
of fair.
Yeah, I mean it's funny also because it's Boston College. But
Yeah, we've won 5 in a row. That we're 15-5 against them.
props to DJ Lundy for getting an interception and then running in a 1-yard
so
touchdown.
he's got a
of his
rushing
own.
touchdown and
First
a
time
pick.
since the 50s that's happened for the Noles, so good for that. But Boston College sets a school record for penalties. They miss an extra point and went for 2 after another touchdown and failed and opted not to kick a field goal from the Seminoles 5 when trailing by 15 early in the fourth quarter. But they still only trailed by 2 points with the ball in the final 3 minutes before Kalen DeLoach sacks Castellanos, which I just want to point out to the broadcaster saying Castellanos, you're an idiot. But Castellanos is his name. And
I thought it was Castellanos as well.
2 L's make the Llanos sound.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's just what they were saying on the broadcast. That's probably why you thought that. But
Maybe.
continue. Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, Florida State, they did not play well. We can't get a running game going for the life of us. It's very frustrating. Jordan Travis did get hurt in the game, left for play, I think, or did he? I don't know if he got left at all, but
He left for one play. It was the kneel down before half.
yeah. So I don't think. I wish we could have taken care of business in the second half, so Jordan could have taken that quarter to rest, but we clearly didn't.
I blame the defense on this one. A lot of it.
I blame the offense, man. Offense did not look good.
I blame the defense for never putting a QB spy on Castellanos, and he rushes for almost 100 yards and a TD, and had a 45-yard run.
I thought I saw some spies on him, but man, Castellanos is fast.
Well, if they had spies on him, they were out of position every time.
Well, linebackers at Florida State have been questionable all year.
That's true.
Fair.
You said that last week.
To be fair, it's very questionable.
Yep.
So, Clemson's going to be an interesting game Saturday, but I'm attesting this to. Apparently, there's a flu going around Tallahassee too. I've seen that. So I don't know if the players were not feeling that great. And again, this is of course coming out after the game, so I don't know if this is all just because they're making excuses. But
yeah, it sounds like an excuse. Honestly.
yeah, so I don't know what happened with Florida State. I think they'll get back on track, and they better get on track because they got Clemson this upcoming week, who has owned Florida State the last half decade, really last decade.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think it was just a bad matchup. I think we'll be fine.
And Keon Coleman only getting 2 catches or 3 catches? I forgot. 1 catch.
1 catch, 2 yards.
I think he had 4 targets. That's what it was. I think it was 4 targets, but
It doesn't say the target. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's rushing. I'm sorry, that was 1 rush for 2 yards. He had
0 catches. I know he's not on the stat sheet. He's not on the stat sheet, so that's a problem. He's your best player on offense, honestly, besides Jordan Travis. So you better use him. You better. I don't know what it takes, but he's got to get the ball. He was literally useless in this game. Why? I don't know. So
bounce back game for Johnny though. I'll give him that.
I don't care. He's our 3rd best player.
Yeah, but I wanted him to be able to catch the ball, and he did. He had 4 for 105.
I mean, that's fine, but it means nothing if
we lose the game if we don't do that. If he doesn't do that.
I mean, we lose the game. If we lose the game, it's because Keon Coleman didn't get the ball. You can make an argument the other way around. Keon
All right.
Coleman's our best receiver. And it's not even close.
I mean, we didn't lose the game, and he didn't get the ball. So
We barely did. We barely won.
I mean, shit. But no, I know what you're saying. Jaheim Bell had a nice game for himself too. But
Jaheim Bell's a good player, man, but he cannot. If we're gonna run the ball, we need to keep him on the sideline.
I agree.
Unless he's actually running the ball. Because I want to use our our blocking tight end. And I don't know, this offense is just so hit or miss. I don't get it. I don't think the offense is in sync yet. Which I'm hoping it comes in sync this week against Clemson. I want to put 60 points on Dabo and force him into an early retirement.
I'm with you. I was about to say I don't want that because I want him to stay there so we can just keep beating him
I want him
forever.
gone.
But I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Gone,
I'm
get
okay
out.
with that.
He's owned us the last 10 years. I'm good.
Club Nick is been okay so far at the start of the season. Not bad, not great.
Which, as we can tell, we're transitioning to Clemson because I'm over Boston College.
Yeah, they throw the ball a lot. We averaged around the same amount of yards, almost 500 yards, 462 for us, 489 for Clemson.
Yeah, our teams have been LSU, Southern Miss, and Boston College. Theirs have been Duke,
Charleston Southern,
and
FAU.
FAU. So really one decent team, and that's Duke.
And they lost.
I mean, ours is one decent team, and that's LSU, and we struggled against Boston College.
Yeah, and hey, I mean, they lost to Duke in a bad fashion.
And honestly, if Clemson loses this game, they may be cooked. Like, they could potentially miss the ACC championship game.
Oh, 100%.
Because they've already lost one conference game. And if they lose this, there's 2 conference games.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to have 2. You're down 2 games in the conference already.
Because this year is
there's no division.
divisions,
So
right?
that means like Louisville could go away. North
Duke,
Carolina.
Louisville, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Clemson's going to have a lot to play for. I think they're focusing now on Florida State as they should. But, yeah, what's a big positive for Florida State is they got a bye week after Clemson. So if they lose to Clemson, the season's not over. But, man, the national championship dreams may be at risk. You got to win out at that point.
Agreed.
So I think Florida State will win this game on Saturday. But, man, it's going to be nerve-wracking. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff, which is very annoying. But I'd rather 12 o'clock than 8 p.m. in Death Valley. So I'm good.
To finish the thought on the FSU, we were up at Players watching the game, which was actually a perfect environment. It was really quiet in there. But there was 2 older gentlemen in Clemson gear sitting at one of the tables, and they were getting ready to leave. And they look over at us because we're wearing FSU gear, and they're like, "Oh, you guys going up to Clemson for the game?" We're like, no, unfortunately not. Work, whatever.
Don't tell me you got tickets.
No. And they're like, and Scott's like, so are you guys going to the game? I'm like, oh yeah. Well, we live there. I'm like,
what the hell are you doing in Jacksonville?
What are you doing in Jacksonville for this game? We assume that maybe they just took the long way back from FAU.
Wait, you were watching the Florida State game?
Mm-hmm.
FAU was a night game.
Was it at FAU? No, it was versus FAU. And so never mind then. I just thought maybe they were coming up and they were just driving and going really slow. They're old. They were retired dudes.
Unless they're Chiefs fans and they want to come to watch the Chiefs game. I don't know whether they're
probably
Chiefs
not.
fans. Or watch Trevor Lawrence
play.
play.
Said they were heading back that day. So
I don't know. That's weird. Unless they had something in Jacksonville. Who knows?
But
well,
I just thought it was kind of weird.
Maybe they were scouts for Clemson. No, they were. Oh, see, we weren't in Tallahassee. Never mind. So I don't know. That's weird.
They were way too old. Oh my goodness.
So what? Don't be an ageist there. There could be old scouts.
All right, fine. I won't say anything else. I did want to mention.
It would match Dabo, though. To be honest.
Skyler's portion on the Gators. Actually, I'm plugging in right here.
Let's hear it.
And yeah, let's plug that in. All right, Skyler. So Tennessee comes into Gainesville expecting a win, most likely. I think a lot of people picked them. I know Pat McAfee did pick the Gators, so props to him for that. 29-16 is your final score. Gators looked good. Do you feel like this win it's a statement win for the season for sure, but does this change the trajectory or how you feel about how the season is going to go?
I don't know. I mean, it obviously raises the expectations up for the season now. Can't perform like you did week 1. Looking the way you did this week. run game finally came together the same way I thought it would, like earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ETN had 174 rushing yards and a couple touchdowns, I believe, or at least one for sure, that long one. And so, you know, running game worked out well because that's been the thought all season is get those guys going and just basically run as much as you can and, you know, wear out the defense. And because Tennessee's a high potent offense and they can score anytime. And, you know, they had a couple big plays that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to just run and get points off of that and yards and wear out the defense and stuff definitely obviously paid dividends. And I hope they can maintain that the rest of the season. If they can, then, yeah, I could expect them to be pretty competitive in every other game.
Well, they are officially ranked 25th overall. They play Charlotte this week, so that's kind of a whatever game anyway. They go to Kentucky after that on the 30th. That's a noon kickoff. Could be a good game. A better game than we might have thought. I don't know. I don't even know how good Kentucky is, to be honest with you. Looking real quick. They're 3-0. Okay. They're 3-0. Have they beaten anyone, though? No. They've played Ball State, Eastern Kentucky, and Akron. But to your point, you mentioned that the run game was impressive. I just want to point out that they had 100 and... Etienne, you said I had 172. As a team, they had 183. That's a really, really good game. Of course, he had that 62-yard run, but still having 172, that's incredible. And the big plays you talked about for Tennessee, yeah, the receivers, they had one guy that had a 55-yard reception. Squirrel White, which is just a great name, had a 41-yard reception. And then another guy had a 43-yard reception. So big plays, but doesn't affect the Gators. They are able to contain Tennessee. So thanks for that, Skyler. All right, so let's go around. Because you mentioned before that this weekend slate is beautiful. There's a lot of good games. Can you pull that up for me?
I'll pull it up. I got you.
Ohio State at Notre Dame. Please.
I got you. Florida State, Clemson.
Please humble Notre Dame. Please.
Notre Dame's going to win that game. Florida State, Clemson. You got Rutgers, Michigan.
Iowa, Penn State. It's a ranked matchup. Yeah. UCF at Kansas State is a big one just because UCF needs to win that one.
You got Miami going to Temple. Colorado at Oregon. Ole Miss at Alabama. UCLA at Utah.
I'm sorry, wait. Miami is going to Temple?
Correct. I really hope Temple beats them. If they beat Miami,
I forgot to ask you that. You scared at all of Miami?
No. Oregon State at Washington State. Another great game. Iowa, Penn State. Penn State will win by 20. Texas at Baylor is interesting just because Baylor kind of needs this win. If they don't, they're going to probably fire their head coach.
Yep.
Ohio State and Notre Dame. North Carolina at Pitt's low-key interesting. USC at Arizona State is not really. Cal, Washington. Yeah, there's 5 good games, honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot. And where are you going to be this weekend?
I will be here, but I have Julia in town, so I've got a lot of things going on this weekend.
I'll be in Orlando.
I've got a wedding, and I've got fall weddings, please. Even though Julia wanted to get married in the fall, I was like, no, we can't get married in the fall.
Elisa wants to too, or winter.
See, winter here's different. I can't do winter up there.
Yeah, I mean, even winter though, football's still going on, you know. So it's like,
if you do February, it won't be that bad.
Yeah, but I'm thinking she's thinking like December.
Oh,
yeah,
bowl season.
Yeah, I mean, I could get away with missing, looking at the schedule here,
Miami versus
Duke
Temple
playing, Kansas or some shit like that. I mean, I don't really care about that, but I don't know. Let's wrap this bad boy up, shall we? So I was gonna talk about another thing, but I'm just gonna end on a happy note. I'm gonna say 2 words, and you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
All right, I'm closing my eyes.
Okay, it's gonna be 3 words. Disney World, bear. What do you think?
I don't know what I'm supposed to think.
I thought Pooh Bear when I first thought of it.
I was thinking Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. There we go. Well, it's not Winnie the Pooh, unfortunately. Well, yeah, no, unfortunately. That'd be really cool. This morning, talk about a case of the Mondays. prior to opening Magic Kingdom Park at Walt Disney World this morning, a cast member or cast members discovered a black bear in the vicinity of Tom Sawyer's Island.
That's hilarious.
The bear was just, they're just doing a pre-opening check, and he's just chilling back there in the forest. And so they had to call animal control. The half of the park was closed because of that. I saw a TikTok this morning of a guy talking about, like, hey, I can't go to this area of Disney World. What's going on? All the rides were closed. Well, as of 1:45 today, the bear was captured. They reopened Frontierland with the exception of Tom Sawyer's Island, rightfully so, and the Walt Disney World Railroad, because that actually traverses the woods behind Tom Sawyer's Island. So just thought that was kind of funny. Like, who would have thought a bear would just be chilling in Disney World? Like, how did it get in there?
I got no answer for that one. Someone was just falling asleep at the job and didn't watch the security footage.
It's got to be one of those classic where the guy's got his legs kicked up on the desk, his hands behind the back of his head, his hat's over his eyes, he's snoring. You've got like a half-eaten
literally,
donut.
he's going to have a half-eaten donut and a 5-hour energy, and then his feet up in the air. Yeah, that's literally what happened.
And like the camera like pans to the screens that he has of all the security,
and
you
then
see the bear walking by,
and then jumps the fence and just goes on the rampage. I can completely.
He's on his two legs too. He's just walking like what's his face? What's this? Smokey the Bear.
Ah, yes.
Oh man, just a weird day. It's Monday and it's like really yellow outside right now.
Yeah, it's dark as hell right now.
You can flick on the light behind you if you want.
I'm about to leave, so.
That's fair. Oh,
right.
here's the ender. I forgot. We gotta talk about the new flavors that just dropped. I'm pulling them up right now because I saved the email so I could do it. Oh, it's not on that email address.
I'm pulling it up on nerdynuts.com. Use the code.
I don't know if it's gonna be on there. But...
Use the code DIMES10 for a 10% off your order. So the new release is Butterscotch Crunch Peanut Butter Treat, the King Peanut Butter Treat.
No, those are the ones that are already out.
Oh, I just saw them on their website, so I guess
this is the email I just got. No, they don't put them up on the email yet. We get the insider info, remember?
Oh. See,
so,
I don't check my emails.
DOMG instead of OMG. This is going to be white chocolate peanut butter with cookie dough and chocolate cookie dough. That is considered a smunchy indulgence.
Speaking of insider info.
Oh my god, yeah, that's the name of the next one. Insider info.
And by the way, that was completely unrehearsed. Like, no, Keith did not know that this was
I've literally just opened up the email. Wow, that's really weird. Sweet white chocolate peanut butter blended with yellow cake mix, topped with apple donut glaze and cinnamon sugar cookie pieces. Wow. And the last one, you want to do the last one?
A Harvest Festival almond butter. I don't know what the flavor is, but I'm on the
It is white chocolate almond butter with pumpkin sauce and caramel sauce, and topped with white chips. So those are your new flavors. All the fall ones are out right now. Oh, the King. I missed this one. Oh, this is banana? What? Well, the King, Elvis. I'm stupid for that. It is milk chocolate peanut butter swirled with banana-infused mallow cream and topped with mini peanut butter cups. An iconic trio. So, if you haven't already, go on nerdynuts.com. Use code DIMES10 at checkout. Get your fall flavors now. Enjoy some Nerdy Nuts and let us know how you like it. And we will be happy to share your thoughts on that. Mike, any closing thoughts?
I've got a little parlay at the end of the show. So.
Perfect. For episode 94, he's Mike Yaji. I'm Keith Manzi. Skyler Chase at Coastal Indoor Golf tonight. This has been another episode of Dimes on Duval presented by Nerdy Nuts. We'll catch you next time.
Jags, Knowles, Moneyline Parlay. Rack it up.